Hello, YouTube. Good evening. My name is Leo, and with me are Wesley and Marcel. Tonight, the topic is financial independence. And let's start with you, Wesley. Please introduce yourself. And is it important to save money? Why?
Hello guys, my name is Wesley William. I am a data engineer. I live in Porto Alegre city. Actually, it's my seventh immersion here. Uh, I am feeling that my confidence is increasing, right? So on the first ones, I was feeling that my kind of nervous. So from now, I feel my confidence increasing. The words is becoming more easily to reach and to speak as well. And about the question, is it important to save money? I agree with that. I think it's important to save money because uh, if you have any problem, if you have any goal, you can use that money for achieve your goals and solve any problem that will occur, right? So there's a lot of things that we is out of our control. So we cannot control everything, and there is some kind of incidents in your life that, you, for example, your your car just breaks. For example, someone crashing your car, for example, right? So there's a lot of things that you cannot control, and if you have money, your life will become more easily. So I agree with that question.
Yeah, totally. Um, and you, Matthew, please introduce yourself. And is it important to save money? Why?
All right. And so I am 39 years old. I grew up Bahia, but I live in São José dos Campos. Big city for me because there are a lot of traffic and different factors, It's beautiful in city. I like. I don't like in cold. Today now it's very cold now because I grew up in North here. It's very hot, but it's okay. I work in logistics. I play music instruments and since my childhood and contrabass and guitar, electric guitar, keyboard. I don't like drumming because it's very noise, But my son like it and dreams, okay. So I'm here TNT 1 years, yes. I talk hours. I talk. I never studied English before, and now I study on TNT. And I enjoy the opportunity in English. Yeah, is about the questions. It's very important save money, but I agree with you, Wesley. It's very necessary and important. Yes, very necessary. Save money. But in Brazil, it's very difficult. I think, in my view, in my case, it's very, very hard and save money in Brazil. So I have a children, and I think in the future and my children about the medicine, it's very necessary save money because this and buy and medicine and yes, it's very necessary and save money in my opinion, but it's very hard. Yes, it's very hard to save money in my life, you know. Yes, and that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Marcio. I cannot even imagine it. How is to uh how is to have a kid in my home? It's really complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, my name is Leo. I am 28 years old from Belém do Pará, but I've been living in São Paulo and it's good. It's not that good to me as well. I'm from the north, so it in Belém is really hot. And yeah, sometimes I miss, sometimes not that much. And I agree with you all. I think it's really important to save money, and it's really hard to me as well. And I have no kid. So it's really problematic this situation because sometimes I think I'm completely conscious that I have to save money, but sometimes I just can't save it. So I have no idea how it's possible. But I think that supermarkets, everything that you want to do here, it's really expensive. So it's really complicated to save money if you don't follow a plan, if you do anything, you can save money because everything will need some money to do here. So yeah, it's really complicated. And Matthew, do you have a good financial control? You don't have any financial control?
So no, I don't. Yes, unfortunately, yes, and because good financial control, no, I don't. And including in São Paulo, it's very expensive in supermarket and shops mall and public transportations, for example. It's very expensive here, but I don't consider good financial control. Yes, in my life, unfortunately, I think because this uh, I don't study before financials, for example. Yeah, Brazil don't exist study about this. And yeah, it's financial controls in Brazil. Yeah, because it's very hard, in my opinion, in the in Brazil. Yes, it's very difficult, unfortunately, but I don't have good financial control. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and we don't have the culture of financial education, so it's
Yeah,
really complicated. Start um, plan a financial start to do a financial plan if we don't know how to do it. And to Wesley, do you have a good financial control?
Yes, I have. Mainly because I created I have a implicit control, right? So everything that I I waste my money or uh, I count every penny. Let's put that way. I count every penny. So I have a document that I keep the information updated that every spend that I have. So it's a document on Google Sheets, and in that document that I created, I just insert all my expenses. So with that, everything is under control, right? So is with that all become more easily because you can see where your money are going. So with that, you can control yourself and your expenses. Uh, for I have this system from 2018, I think. Yes, 2018. More than 5 years. So I had this control, and it works so much well. And I can create some kind of reports using these documents, because Google Sheets, actually, there is some features that you can create reports. For example, you can group your expenses by month or by year. So I can see, including I can create some charts that I can see my history, wasting my money, and how much I am evolving and creating more money, because uh, in our career, we are always studying, right? So with time, you can create more money if you have the opportunities for that. So it's very, I'm glad to see that, because I can see with numbers, with data, that I am evolving. So it's a very good thing. And I recommend you guys to create a document. You can use Excel or Google Sheets. Google Sheets is good because you can use your cell phone, and it is synced with PC, right? So I recommend you guys to use that. Put 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 all your expenses on this document, and keep your eye on that, right? So will become more easily. Even if you are trying to get more money, or you don't have uh, enough money to close your month on green, right? You can see where are the expenses, where are the waste of your money, and you can take some actions to fix that, right? I think that's is the way.
Come on, guy, you are not a data engineer. You are a data
Yes.
analyst. Yeah. Yeah, I have to say that I do the same. I have a Google Sheet where I just pour all my expenses. But I have the control of everything that I spend my money. It doesn't mean that I save money. I don't use more than I have. This is my problem. Basically, I use everything. So I have I have the control of everything that I use, but uh, for example, if I have the opportunity to save money, but something happens in my life and I really want to do it, I just go. I have money, so I will go. I will not save. I will not choose save money. I will do it because I want to do. So I have the control, but uh, I I do not save money. Basically, this is my life.
Do you consider yourself as an impulsive person?
No.
No?
It looks like, but I'm not. Uh, it's just something that uh, I always ask to myself if I really need buy something, for example. So I don't buy anything for impulsive. I just uh, I just do the things that I really want. So I always ask to myself, we will do it. So I just answer to me yes, and I go. Yeah, talk about an impulsive. Have you ever had problems with credit cards, for example, Wesley?
No, I never had. Maybe one how can I say one time, but was a fraud, right? I asked my first credit card, and the bank sent me, but the credit card don't arrive on my house. So someone, I don't know how, got the card and locked it and created some transactions, right? I don't know how. Then I on this time I didn't have money, and I see the report on on the message that I received, and I become very surprised, very, how I can say, uh, negative emotion. I'm afraid. I think I'm afraid of that because uh, I the first motive is because I didn't have the money to pay that the was wasted in my credit card by the thieves, right? So and I was very young, and I feel afraid. And then I reported it for the bank, and the bank solved all the thing, and I feel very relief. But in the usage way, I never had a problem because my finances are always under control, right? So I have and I use credit cards, but is everything is under control, and everything is on the document, and I think it is not a problem, right, for me.
Yeah, in my case, there is a situation that I'm not under control when I drink beers. Beers are my problem. So once I had problems with my credit cards, uh, because it was carnival, and I just I just want that moment of my life. I just have fun every day and every night and every moment. So it was in 2020. It was the last carnival before pandemia. So I just when I realized, I just said, thanks God, because I use everything that I do everything that I want. Now I will find some way to pay this credit card, but yeah, it was really hard. And so, Master, have you ever have problems with credit cards?
So, uh, I never see, I never see people talk and has good relationships about the credit card. Unfortunately, I never see. So in my case, I don't use credit card because this. So my wife, it's very, very, I don't know how can I say, oh my gosh, and save and oh my god, I forgot the name. Uh, spend, yeah, yeah. My wife, it's very spend. Yeah, so, but because this, I don't use credit card. Yes, for me it's very complicated and credit card because and yes, I said I never see and people talking about the good relationships in credit card. Yay. So I don't use because this too. Yes. And so in my case, I spend a little spend. Yes. But my wife more spend, you know. Uh, we talk about this and we talk with my family, but it's very complicated, you know. Yes. So I don't use credit card because this. I never see any people talk good relationships in credit card, unfortunately. And people and though people use credit card in Brazil, yes, it's very spend, you know. It's very, very spendy in Brazil. But I don't use.
Perfect. Yeah, and it's really complicated, especially if you pay the bills in many times, if you split the value in many months. So it becomes an snowball, and every time you have to pay, and your money is everything just to credit card. So it's a huge problem. Yeah, good luck with your wife, Mas. Yeah, and Marcio, you said at the beginning that you have never studied about financial control and about it. Do you think that is it important to talk about financial education in schools?
Yes, of course. It's very important, you know. In high school, for example, it's very necessary in Brazil, but don't don't eh, don't exist. I don't know in Brazil. Educations in school. So, in my case, I have a children, and my children uh, buy everything. Unfortunately, and so in high school, for example, education is very necessary when talk in fin- financial in education in high school. It's necessary because in my case before, I don't know, there is learning about the financials. I think is good in my case. Yeah, I consider financials good, you know. But before, for me, don't did it study in, in financials, and because this, it's necessary. It's very necessary in Brazil. Yes, in the high school. Yes, because and people save about the future, for example, save about the buy house, for example, buy car, apartment, for example, you know, because here it's very expensive in car and housing and apartment. And yeah, supermarket, it's very expensive. San Jose, it's very expensive. And supermarket, yes, so necessary education in schools. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, you talk about buy a house. I have no idea how much is a house, for example. So how can I just buy something that I have no idea how much it costs? So, for example, it's something to me that I have no plans to buy. And you, Wesley, do you think it's important to talk about financial education in schools?
I think it's very important, but if it is important if the government don't insert some bias, right? Some ideological bias on this knowledge. But this considering that, I think is important. And all my knowledge about this subject, I got learning out of the school, right? After my graduation, or before my graduation, I don't remember. I was reading some books about this subject, and I recommend you guys a book that is very easy to read. It's called O Homem Mais Rico da Babilônia. And this book is the first one that everyone has to learn if you are interested in investment and financial control, because it teaches you about important things like compounding interest, juros compostos, and how it works, right? And when you use the compounding interest in your favor, you can make more money. You can save your money and make more money, because if you think in the future, in your future, thinking in a long time on the future, when you will go to retire, maybe we will don't have the money. The government maybe will don't have the money to pay us our retirement, because the structure that the INSS is structured, right, is some kind of pyramid, because all the young people today pays the INSS, and this money is directly used to pay the older people that already are retired. So it's maybe a broken system, and there is a lot of questioning, because if you don't have enough young people working on generating money and paying the INSS, maybe the people will not got the retirement, right? So I think it's important for our goals, and in the future for how I can say, to get some peace of mind, right? You can enjoy your retirement, and we will not you will don't will lost your house, for example, living in the streets, right? So I think that the subject is very important. Not all the young people today have this interest on this subject, and I think it's important if they have on the school.
Yeah, and I just like you that everything that I learned out of school, especially with YouTube. My boyfriend gave me this book, A Psicologia Financeira, and it's still packaged because I do not read. I have to read. Yeah, and I think that it's really important, especially here, because basically talk about education, it's a privilege. When we talk about teach financial education skills, it will achieve just few people who have access to schools. So it's a good idea, but I don't think that it solves everything. There's many people here in Brazil who don't have access to schools, so they will still have no financial education. Yeah, I think that it's important, but it don't solve everything. And we also said at the beginning of this conversation that everything is so expensive, but especially the supermarkets. Marcio, do you use it to compare the the price in many supermarkets. Just like me.
So I don't have patience, you know. Yes, compare the price. Yes, yeah. I don't. So I don't like and buy in supermarket, you know. And my wife resolve, you know, in supermarket because I don't have patience and walk walk in the supermarket, for example. Yes. So usually I don't have patience. And that's it. My wife and buying supermarket and everything about the compare. Yes. My wife has patience and they buying uh, different supermarket, for example, walk in different supermarket. And I fight when when I work my wife. I fight because this. So I stay in my house, you know, and my wife is buying in different supermarket because I don't have patience. Yes.
Yeah. I have to say that I'm not a person who walks in many supermarkets, but I use the supermarket apps so I can see if there is a discount, for example, in a supermarket. So if I have a discount, I will buy there. And you, Wesley, do you do it?
No, I don't. Same as Marcel, I don't have the patience. And if I go in the supermarket, I take the first product, the first brand that I found. Uh, Usually, I take the brand that have more quality, right? Because uh, quality is better than quantity. So actually, I can say I I create some reserve to buy such a things, right? So uh, I think is the important thing, because if you are buying something, is a product, is a food that you put in your body, right? So you have to buy some food that have quality, right? And I don't have the patience to compare the prices and walk in the supermarket, as Marcia said. And there's a lot of another thing. I use it to compare the prices just when I have to buy some expensive thing for the house. For example, sorry guys. For example, if I buy some device, electrodomésticos, I don't remember how to say that, but some device for the house, and uh, I am used to compare the prices, because it's uh, an expensive product. So you have to see the reviews on YouTube and compare the prices as well. And just like products like this, expensive products, but food or grocery store products, food, I don't do that.
Yeah, I also compare um, the stores because I use Livelo and I have to buy something expensive. I look for a store who gave me points at Livelo. Yeah. And guys, I have to say that it's something new to me. Sometimes compare some stuffs. I live by myself just for 2 years, so it's something relatively new to me. So sometimes it's too hard because I have to say that I'm not that patient as well. So I do not go to every supermarket, compare everything. Sometimes I just go where I know that it's used to be cheaper than the others. So I go there and buy everything that I need. But sometimes I do not compare. uh, so guys, um, one more question. Question number 8. Yeah. Wesley talked about investments. I have no idea how to do it. Wesley, do you invest your money?
Yes, I have some investments. Yes, uh, I can say that in English. It's steady income, renda fixa, variable income, renda variável. I don't know the terms in English, but it's basically stocks and bonds of the government, and some crypto as well, and stocks in USA as well, United States stocks. And that's it. And it's very easy to us to invest on those things because there's some apps that some apps is how I can say that, um, companies. There's some companies that are exchanges, and you can exchange the some 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 stocks. You can buy some stocks and wait until it is become more valuable and then sell, for example, or just buy and hold, for example. That my strategy, right? So there's a lot of companies that you can buy stocks. I cannot recommend because I don't have the license for recommend the stocks, but I recommend. I cannot recommend. I will. I was about to say about it, but I cannot recommend. But you can just study the subject and learn about the companies, see the financial data. You can see because it's open data, right? It's a public data, and you can have the access. What else? I think that's it. And you don't have to start investing in such things. In the beginning, you can just put the money in your bank account, right? You can in those digital banks that can give you some some income, right? So I think that is the way. The people have to learn more about it. Is a very important thing. I usually think the people have to understand some basic stuff like programming, investment, and the politics. I think is the basic things that the people have to learn and understand. Um, what else? And of course, learn English, right? Because we are here discussing about the financial thing, and with English we can have the chance to improve our income, right? We can create no, but we can have more chance and improve our income. Um, and I think that's is the way. As Marcia said before, the situation in Brazil is very hard, but we have the barrier of the language, the Portuguese. The Portuguese is a barrier for us. We cannot easily work to Europe, for example. So if you are learning English, we can, of course, it depends, right? If you have some kind of in technology, you can work remotely for another country. And I think this is very important because we can improve our lives, right? And you can help our parents as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's really confused into my mind when I start to to learn about investment. It looks really hard when I try to learn this. So I think that it's something that you have the first impact when you start to learn, and then after you start to understand about that.
The
But
first, the first move is always hard.
yeah, I'm still there. And you, Márcio, do you invest your money?
Little, invest my money and study. Yes, I invest. Study my area, study my invest in instruments because I play another city, and good instrument it's very necessary because good single, for example, and yes, I invest in my life and the musical and the English, yes, and my my area and yes, in my children, yeah, in the future, it's very good. And the school, good school, for example, yes, I invest in my money, yeah, is necessary. And so because I think my children, it's good in the learning, in the and learning and the and talk another people, for example. And so that's it. Investing in my area and instruments a little.
Yeah, it's really important as well. Jesus, do you play violin, Wesley?
No,
Yes,
no violent.
No,
No.
Wesley.
yes,
I
I play
Wesley,
well.
yeah. Yes,
Yes.
okay.
let's
Congratulations.
create a musical band, Marcel.
Yes, okay. You have a band, musical band, or
No, I don't
solo?
have, just a solo violin player.
Okay. My younger children, my no, yeah, my younger children play violin. Yes. So in my house, I have a band in my house.
Yes, it's almost
Yeah.
a carnival every day.
Yes, I have a band because
Yeah.
I play in bass. My son play dream. My youngest daughter and I don't know violin and keyboard. Yes, keyboard. Keyboard. Yeah, keyboard and piano electric. You know. Yeah, I have a I have a band in my house.
Amazing. So, welcome again, girls. How was the conversation in the small room? Was it good, Leticia?
Yeah, it's so good. It's share a lot of experience about the money and the education money.
Yeah, it's really important to share these things. And for you, Gabriele, how was the conversation?
The conversation was so good. We discussed about a lot of things related to financial experience, like the importance of to children and young adults and teenagers about this type of things. We stopped the conversation in a hot topic about this theme. Unfortunately, we don't have time to continue to talk about it.
Let's continue. I really wanted to know about this conversation.
No, it's not. It's okay. But the girls are so amazing, and it was a pleasure to stay with them and discuss about this topic.
Great. So I bring everything to finish this conversation with the last question. What good tip can you give to someone who wants to be financially independent? Vanessa, can you give some tip, please?
I don't understand the last words. Please, you can repeat. Can you repeat for me?
Sure. Can you give some tip to someone who wants to be financially independent?
I don't know. I don't use the credit card infrequently. But I know this is very difficult for other people. But I think this one tool for financial education and help our control where we don't have adults and debts and with our money. I think.
Yeah, perfect. Good tip. Thanks. And you, Natalia?
A tip, I will take the Justus tip. If you don't buy anything, the discount is bigger.
Perfect.
I'm terrible to give tips because I'm not the best person to give that kind of tip. So
This is the best tip ever. And you, Gabi?
Maybe save money while you work, but enjoy your time at the present. You need to take a balance between to live the present and save money for the future.
Great one. Marcio? Márcio?
Sorry, I'm mute. So, about the questions, it's very hard, you know, and so, yeah, I said I don't use a credit card. I don't use the what I usually supermarket. Yeah, so financially for me it depends. Here in Brazil, oh my goodness, it's very difficult, you know, and that's it.
Okay. Lei?
Okay. I think it's important to understand what is financial independence for you. I think it's the first time, for example, because there is different dreams. And after that, it's important to create your goals and you work with these goals, okay? If I think in my life, my dreams, my financial independence change every 5 years, for example, because I change every 5 years. And I think it's important to understand what's good for you in the first time.
Perfect. Good one. And you, Wesley?
I think I will repeat the tip. Read the book called O Homem Mais Rico da Babilônia. I think it's a book that everyone have to read, right? It's a mandatory read. So I think it's just the beginning, and the people will start to have some more interest in the subject, and will have so much more to learn, right? But I think this book will be the entry point, right?
What's the name of the book again?
It's called O Homem Mais Rico da Babilônia. It's very easy to read. The words are very simple, and I enjoy a lot reading this book in a couple of years ago.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think my tip is plan your future expenses. Sometimes we just want to achieve something, but we have no idea how much it costs, and it's it's not a good idea start to want to buy something and you have no idea how to do it. So I give, for example, buy a house. I have no idea how much cost buy a house. So if you want to buy a house, start to plan right now how much it cost, how many months I need to save money to achieve this. So yeah, plan your future expenses. And guys, just one more thing. Please answer the survey that I sent on the chat. And please give me this feedback, okay, guys? And that's it. Have a great weekend, a great night. It's Friday night, so have fun, play video games, drink some beers or tea, and that's it, guys. See you all next week, okay?
See
Bye bye,
ya.
guys.